Prove the isosceles triangle theorem by completing the following two-column proof. Proof. WX bisects angle WY, WZ bisects angle XWY, and WX is congruent to WY. So we already have the given written down here in our statement and a reason. So we're going to start with angle XWZ is congruent to YWZ. So we're going to mark that in our triangles there. And the question is, what is that reason? Well, if we look really closely on our given, what we see in our given is we see a vocab word. And fortunately enough, as we look down here, we can also use our word bank. And the vocab word is bisects. Do we have anything that talks about bisects down here in our possible reasons? And we see definition of angle bisector. So we can cross that one off our list. Again, as I'm looking down here, one of the theorems at the very, very bottom, AA theorem, we've never talked about. I'm going to get rid of that one right now. We're not going to use it. But as you're finishing writing down definition of angle bisector, what we see in this particular picture is that this is a shared side triangle. And shared side triangle means that somewhere in this proof, we're going to use the reflexive property. And if we take a closer look up here, in terms of our reflexive property, what we see as we look over here at our statements, the very first statement that's listed says WZ is congruent to WZ. WZ is the shared side. Going to mark it up here and fill it in. WZ is congruent to WZ. There's our reflexive property. But what I'm trying to stress as we go through this particular problem right here is to mark up your triangle. When you mark up your triangle, we need to look really close. So what I see is we've got a red mark on the side, we've got a green mark on the side, and we've got a blue angle. So we've got two sides and an angle. And down here in our possible reasons, we only have two choices. We've got two sides and an angle. So this is going to be our side, angle, side. I do want to point out on the side, angle, side that the angle is formed in between the two sides. So really hard for me to draw in, but the side has a red mark and then the blue angle and then the green. There's the angle. And you could do the same thing on the other side. It actually is formed, the angle is actually formed by those two sides. But let's fill in our triangle here. We put the side angle side, but we need to fill in the triangles. And the nice part down here is that the only statement that actually has a triangle in it is triangle XWZ is congruent to triangle YWZ. That's the only one that we even have a triangle on. We'll get rid of that statement. I forgot to get rid of the reflexive statement. And then our last statement becomes angle X is congruent to angle Y. And now that we've proved that the triangles are congruent, we can prove that the parts are congruent. And that's our CPCTC. Corresponding parts of congruent triangles are congruent.